Hey everybody, what's up? Tim with today's SCE. I hope wherever you're at you're doing awesome, and thanks so much for tuning in. So the title for today's clip is Release Attachments, and I gotta tell you, it's a pretty cool day right now. Sunset's creeping in, skies are cloudy and overcast, it's cold, and the evening just had a really chilled, laid-back kind of vibe, and I was thinking about this topic, so I thought it'd be a perfect time to bust out our next video. So this is an offshoot or a building block off of the video that I posted last week. And what I want to talk to you today about is attachments. And I want to kick off a story about a car that I had a couple years ago that I actually became obsessed in getting, and it turned out to be one of the worst decisions I ever made. So I had my eyes set on getting a brand name German sports car. And if I would tell you the name, you know exactly what I was talking about. They're great cars. I was fixated, locked in on getting one of these. The one I picked out was red, black interior. It was just a really sweet ride. So I bought this car because I had to have it, and I obsessed on it, fixed on it, had to have it, and I finally got it. Well, it turned out to be a pretty poor financial decision. Now, I love cars, and you know, I'm all about them. However, you got to make good decisions, and you can't let your emotions drive you. And I did that in this case, and my attachment to the car got me into an automobile that ended up costing me a ton in maintenance costs to replace electric window motors and a sunroof motor and all kinds of things, to the point where I finally got so ticked off at it, I dumped it and ended up getting a Honda. And that was a great decision. But my attachment to having this certain kind of car led me down a path that I wouldn't have gone down if I wasn't so emotionally obsessed with getting this particular kind of car. And so many times in life we attach ourselves to people or positions or possessions. We feel that we have to have them, and we feel that we are not complete or less than if we don't have them. And what happens is, when we set attachments in our lives, we give our power away, and we operate from the standpoint that I'm not whole and I'm not complete without this, and I need this to make me complete. And then, due to the attachment, we lock into it and we refuse to let go of it. And that does a couple different things. Number one is we become a servant to the relationship or to the possession, and it doesn't allow us to be free, and it takes our freedom and it confines us and it restricts us. If it's a person, it constricts them and it keeps them from showing up as their best and their true self, and nobody wants to be in a relationship like that. If it's a possession, we find that we end up having this idol in our lives, and we end up obsessing over it and taking way too much care over it and put it on a pedestal and as a priority where it doesn't belong. And the other thing that attachments do is it prevents us from giving up what is good to get what is better. You know, if I have an apple in my hand, and I didn't bring one tonight, I wish I did. If I had an apple in my hand, I could hang on to that apple and refuse to let go of it. But if I let go of that apple, it's going to fall to the ground, it's going to disintegrate, and the seeds are going to go into the soil, and an apple tree is going to come out of that. And I'm going to have exponentially more apples. If I let go of the apple, it makes way for something better to come along. But if I hang on to that apple, it refuses to let anything else come into my life. And that's so true with attachments. You know, a lot of times God is trying to get something better into our lives, but we hang on to what's good, and in doing so, we compromise what's great. And we sell ourselves short because we end up living below the level where we should live at. But if we're unattached, the power comes back to us, because it's not that we're not bothered when things come in and out of our lives, but we realize that there's a cycle of life, and we release those things to allow space for new things to come back into our lives, to give freedom to ourselves and whatever it is we're attached to, and just to open that up. And people who are unattached tend to be laid back, carefree, and a lot of fun to spend time around. But if you get anybody who's attached to a person or a thing or a position or a job, they're typically uptight, and they're operating from a scarcity principle. They think, this is all I have, this is all I'm ever going to get, so I'm not going to let go of it, and I'm going to hold on to it super tight. And they become controlling and domineering, and they repel almost everybody who's around them, and they repel the good things from coming into their lives. And that's not a space I think you want to be in, and it's definitely not a space that I want to be in. I want to be the kind of guy that's laid back, that's fun, that's carefree, that enjoys life, that knows that no matter how good things get, there's better out there. And in order to get the better, we have to let go of the good, because in letting go of the good, we make space for more awesome things to come along. And even when we let go of those good things, we got to believe that they're going to go and bless somebody else. And we should never be a slave to anything outside of ourselves, because that relinquishes control. So I encourage you to think about what are the things in your life that you would have a really hard time letting go of if they were taken from you. And that's the place that you want to start looking at yourself and saying, what's the deeper need here? What's the deeper issue? Why do I feel I need this to complete me as a person? Why am I struggling with letting go of this? And what work do I need to do internally on a deep level to realize that I don't need this to complement me or define me, that it is in fact a complement to me? And that by holding it loosely, I'm probably going to be able to hold on to it longer. But if I hold on to it super tightly, I'm going to end up losing it. So Tim from the LV encouraging you to let go of your attachments, because it opens up whole new doors of freedom and whole new doors of possibility and potential. So I'm going to ride this really chill, cool, laid-back vibe all the way home tonight. Hope you all have a great evening. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.